I'm the weekly tech critic for the New York Times, so I review gadgets and stuff. And mostly what good dads should be doing this time of year is nestling with their kids and decorating the Christmas tree. What I'm mostly doing this year is going on cable TV and answering the same question: what are the tech trends for next year? And I'm like, didn't we just go through this last year? But I'm going to pick the one that interests me most, and that is the completed marriage of the cell phone and the internet. You know, I found that volcano on Google Images, not realizing how much it makes me look like the cover of Dianetics. Anyway, this all started a few years ago when they started carrying your voice over the internet rather than over a phone line. And we've come a long way since that. But that was interesting in itself. This is companies like Vonage. Basically, you take an ordinary telephone, you plug it into this little box that they give you, and the box plugs into your cable modem. Now it works just like a regular phone. So you can pick up the phone, you hear a dial tone, but it's just a fake out. It's a wave file of a dial tone. And it just to reassure you that the world hasn't ended. You know, and it could be anything. It could be salsa music or a comedy routine. It doesn't matter. So the little box has your phone number, so that's really cool. You can take it to London or Siberia, and your next door neighbor can dial your home number, and your phone will ring, because it's got everything in the box. They've got every feature known to man in there, because adding a new feature is just software. And as a result of voice over IP, I hate that term, voice over internet, landline home phone service has gone down 30% in the last 3 years. I mean, no self-respecting college kid has home phone service anymore. This is what college kids are more likely to have. It's the most popular VoIP service in the world. It's Skype. It's a free program you download for your Mac or PC, and you make free phone calls anywhere in the world. The downside is that you have to wear a headset, like a nerd. It's not your phone, it's your computer. But nonetheless, if you're a college kid and you have no money, believe me, this is better than trying to use your cell phone. It's really cute seeing middle-aged people like me try out Skype for the first time, which is usually when their kid goes away for a semester abroad. You know, they don't want to pay the international fees, so they're like, "Timmy, is that you?" It's really cute. But at least it was when I did it. No. So I think where VoIP is really going to get interesting is when they start putting it on cell phones. Imagine if you had an ordinary cell phone, and any time you were within a wireless hotspot, free calls anywhere in the world, never pay the cellular company a nickel. It'd be really, really cool. And yet, even though the technology for this has been available for 5 years, incredibly, the number of standard cell phones offered by US carriers with free VoIP is 0. I can't figure out why. Actually, I need to update that. There's one now, and it's so interesting that I thought I would tell you about it. It comes from T-Mobile, and I am not paid by T-Mobile. I'm not plugging T-Mobile. The New York Times has very rigid policies about that, ever since that Jason Blair jerk ruined it for all of us. Basically, the reason you haven't heard about this program is because it was introduced last year on June 29. Does anyone remember what else happened on June 29 last year? It was the iPhone. The iPhone came out that day. And I'm like, can you imagine being the T-Mobile PR lady? You know, "Hi, we have an announcement to..." But it's actually really, really cool. So you have a choice of phones, and we're not talking smartphones, ordinary phones, including a BlackBerry, that have Wi-Fi. And the deal is, anytime you're in a Wi-Fi hotspot, all your calls are free. And when you're out of the hotspot, you're on the regular cellular network. And you're thinking, well, how often am I in a hotspot? And the answer is all the time, because they give you a regular wireless router that works with the phone for your house, which is really ingenious, because we all know that T-Mobile is the most pathetic carrier. They have like coverage like the size of my thumbnail, but it's $100 million to put up one of those towers, right? They don't have that kind of money, so instead they give each of us a $7.95 box, and they're like a stealth tower installation program. They're like, we're putting it in our homes for them. So anyway, and they have Wi-Fi phones in Europe. But the thing that T-Mobile did that nobody's done before is, when you're on a call and you move from Wi-Fi into cellular range, the call is handed off in mid-syllable, seamlessly. And I'll show you the advanced technologies we use at the New York Times to test this gear. This is me with a camcorder on a phone going like this. as I walk out of the house from my Wi-Fi hotspot into the cellular network on a call with my wife. And look at the upper left. That's the Wi-Fi signal.
Hello?
Hi, babes, it's me.
Oh, hi, darling. How are you?
You're on Wi-Fi. How does it sound?
Oh, it sounds pretty good.
Now I'm leaving the house. I'm going for a walk. Do you mind?
Oh, no, not at all. Well, I'm having a great day with the kids.
What are you guys doing? Right
Well, we
there.
decided to visit Kelly's old friend Shelby.
It just changed to the cellular tower in mid-call. I don't know why my wife says I never listen to her. I don't get that. The bottom line is that the boundaries, because of the Internet plus cell phone, are melting. The cool thing about the T-Mobile phones is that although switching technology is very advanced, the billing technology has not caught up. So what I mean is you can start a call in your house on the in the Wi-Fi hotspot. You can get in your car and talk till the battery's dead, which will be like 10 minutes, and the call will continue to be free because they haven't, well, no, wait, not so fast. It also works the other way. So if you start a call on the cellular network and you come home, you keep being billed. Which is why most people with this service get into the habit of saying, hey, I just got home. Can I call you right back? Yeah, now you get it. But anyway, and it's also true that if you use one of these phones overseas, it doesn't know what internet hotspot you're in. On the internet, nobody knows you're a dog, right? Nobody knows you're in Pakistan. So you can make free, unlimited calls home to the US with these phones. So very, very interesting. This is another favorite of mine. Does anyone here have a working cell phone that's on with coverage who can make a call right now without a lot of fussing? Okay, would you call me, please, right now? And don't you all call me at 3 a.m. asking me to fix your printer. So I have two cell phones, so this is going to be very odd if it works. I should know not to do technology demos in front of an audience. It's like absurd. So this one's going off, and oh, I have the ringer off. Great. Anyway, this one's also going off. So they're both ringing at the same time. Excuse me 1 second. Hello? Oh, where are you calling from? No, just kidding. There it is. Thank you very much for doing that. I didn't even know it was you. I was looking at this guy. Oh, great. Yeah, you can all stop calling now. All right. We've made the point. All right. Ringer off. Everyone wants in on the action. So this is Grand Central at work. It's a... Oh, for God's sake. I have your numbers now. You will pay. Grand Central is this really brilliant idea where they give you a new phone number, and then at that point, one phone number rings all your phones at once. Your home phone, your work phone, your cell phone, your yacht phone. This is the EG crowd. And the beauty of that is you never miss a call. And I know a lot of you are like, you know, ooh, I'd want to be reached at any hour. But the beauty is it's all going through the internet, so you have these really cool features like you can say, I want these people to be able to call me only during these hours, and I want these people to hear this greeting, you know, hi boss, I'm out making us both some money, leave a message, you know, and then your wife calls and hi honey, leave me a message, you know, so very, very customizable. Google bought it, and they've been working on it for a year. They're supposed to come out with it very shortly in the public method. By the way, this is something that really bothers me. I don't know if you realize this, when you call 411 on your cell phone, they charge you $2. Did you know that? It's an outrage. And I actually got a photograph of the Verizon employee right there. And I'm going to tell you how to avoid that now. What you're going to use is Google Cellular. It's totally free. There's not even ads. If you know how to send a text message, you can get the same information for free. I'm about to change your life. So here's me doing it. You send a text message to the word Google, which turns out to be 46645. Leave off the last E for savings. Anyway, so let's say you need a drugstore in Chicago. You type Pharmacy Chicago or the zip code. You hit send, and in 5 seconds, they will send you back the 2 closest drugstores, complete with name, address, and phone number. Here it comes. And it's already written down. So like if you're driving, you don't have to do one of these things. Or it works with weather, too. You can say weather and the name of the city where you're going to travel to. And then in 5 seconds, they send you back the complete weather forecast for that town. And shortly, I'll tell you why I was in Milan. There we go. And those are just the beginning. These are all the different things that you can text to Google, and they will, yeah, you're all trying to write this down. That's cute. I do have an email address. You can just ask me. It's absolutely phenomenal. The only downside is that it requires you to know how to text, send a text message, but nobody over 40 knows how to do that. So I'm going to teach you something even better. This is called Google Info. They've just launched this voice-activated version of the same thing, and it's speech recognition like you've never heard before. So let's say I'm in Monterey, and I want what? I want to find what? Bagels, okay.
Google, say the business and the city and state.
Bagels, Monterey, California. I got the Chinese line.
Bagels, Monterey, California. Top 8 results. Number 1, Bagel Bakery on Alvarado Street. To select number 1, you can press 1 or say number 1. Number 2, Bagel Bakery Commissary Department.
Number 2.
Avenue. Number 3, Bagel Bakery.
Number 2.
California Avenue, Seaside.
Say
2.
2.
On Forest Avenue.
Why do I listen to people in the audience? Well, anyway. Oh, here we go.
Commissary Department on McClellan Avenue, Monterey. I'll connect you or say details or go back.
He's connecting me. He doesn't even tell me the phone number. He's just connecting me directly. It's like having a personal valet on call.
Hold on.
Hi, could I have 400 with a schmear? No, just no. So anyway, you never even find out the number. It's just so amazing, and it's incredible accuracy. This is even more amazing. Put this in your speed dial. This you can ask by voice any question. Who won the 1958 World Series? What's the recipe for a certain cocktail? It's absolutely amazing, and they text you back the answer. I tried this morning just to make sure it's still alive. Which actors have played James Bond? They text me back this. Sean Connery, George Lazenby, Roger Moore, Tim Dalton, Pierce Brosnan, Daniel Craig. Right. And then I was trying to pretend I was like a valley girl. I'm like, what's the word that means, like when the sun, the moon, and the earth are like all in a line? Just to see how the recognition was. They texted me back, it's called a syzygy, which I knew because it's the word that won me the Ohio Spelling Bee in 1976. There's a lot of people wondering how on earth are they going to make money doing this, and the answer is, look at the last line. They put this teeny-weeny little ad about 10 characters long, and a lot of people also want to know, how does it work? How can it be so good? It's almost as though there's a human being on the other end of the line, because there is one. They have 10,000 people who are being paid 20 cents per answer. As you can imagine, it's college kids and old people. That's who can afford to do that, but it's a human being on the line, and it's gotten me out of so many tough positions, like when's the last flight out of Chicago? It's just absolutely amazing. Another thing that really bothers me about cell phones today, this is probably my biggest pet peeve in all of technology. When I call to leave you a message, I get 15 seconds of instructions from a 3rd grade teacher on Ambien. To page this person. Page? What is it, 1975? Nobody has pagers anymore. You may begin speaking at the tone. When you have finished recording, you may hang up. No! And then it gets worse. When I call to retrieve my messages, first of all, you have 87 messages. To listen to your messages, why else am I calling? Of course I want to listen to the messages. Oh, you all have cell phones too. So last year, I went to Milan, Italy, and I got to speak to an audience of cellular executives from 200 countries around the world. And I said, as a joke, I said, I did the math. Verizon has 70 million customers. If you check your voicemail twice a day, that's $100 million a year. I bet you guys are doing this just to run up our airtime, aren't you? No chuckle. They're like this. Where's the outrage, people? Rise up! Sorry. I'm not bitter. So So now I'm going to tell you how to get out of that. There are these services that transcribe your voicemail into text, and they send it either to your email or as text messages to your phone. It is a life changer. And by the way, they don't always get the words right because it's over the phone and all that, so they attach the audio file at the bottom of the email so you can listen to double check. The services are called things like Spinvox, Phone Tag, this is the one I use, CallWave. And a lot of people say, how are they doing this? I don't really want people listening into my calls. And the executives at these companies told me, well, we use a proprietary B2B best-of-breed peer-to-peer solution. I think basically it's like these guys in India with headsets, listening in. And the reason I think that is that on the first day I tried one of these services, I got 2 voicemail messages. One was from a guy named Michael Stevenson, which shouldn't be that hard to transcribe, and it was misspelled. And the other was from my video producer at the Times, whose name is Vijay Singh, with a silent H. Nailed that one. So, you be the judge. Anyway, this service, CallWave, promises that it's all software, nobody's listening to your messages, and they also promise that they're going to transcribe only the gist of your messages. So I thought I'd see how that goes. This is me testing it out. Hello, this is Michael. Hope you're doing well. I'm fine here. Everything's good. Hey, I was walking along the street and the sky was blue and your daughter broke her leg at soccer practice. I'm going to have a sandwich for lunch. She's in emergency room 53W. Okay, talk to you later. Bye. Okay, so I love my job. So a couple minutes later, this I got by email. It's a very good transcription. But a couple minutes after that, I got the text message version. Now remember, a text message can only be 160 characters long. So it had better be the gist of the gist, right? And I'm not kidding you. The message said, was walking along the street and sky was blue and emergency. What the? Well, I guess that was the gist, And lastly, I just have to talk about this one. This is my favorite of all time. It's called popularitydialer.com. And basically, you're going to go on some iffy date or a potentially bad meeting, right? So you go and you type in your phone number and the exact minute where you want to be called. And at that moment, your phone will ring and you're like, I'm sorry, I got to take this, right? So, and the really beautiful thing is, you know how when somebody's sitting next to you, sometimes they can sort of hear they can hear you a little bit of the caller. So they give you a choice of what you want to hear on the other end. So like, here's the girlfriend.
Hey, you, what's going on?
I'm kind of like giving a talk right now.
Well, that's good.
What are you doing?
I don't know. I was just wondering what you were up to.
Right. I can't really talk right now. Okay.
Well, I'm going up.
This is I love this, the boss call.
Hey, this is Mr. Johnson calling from the office.
Oh, hi, sir.
Did you complete that thing about a month ago, that photocopier training?
Oh, sorry, I forgot.
Yeah. Well, so when was the last time you used the photocopier?
Oh, it was like 3 weeks ago.
Well, I don't know if you heard. You might have heard from Lenny, but...
Well, anyway, so... I think the biggest change when internet met phone was with the iPhone. Not my finest moment in New York Times journalism was when, in fall of 2006, I explained why Apple would never do a cell phone. I looked like a moron. However, my logic was good because I don't know if you realize this, but until the iPhone came along, the carriers, Verizon, AT&T, Singular, held veto power over every aspect of every design of every phone. I know the people who worked on the Trio, and they went around to these carriers and said, look at these cool features, and Verizon was like, no, I don't think so. And so it was not very conducive to innovation. So what I didn't anticipate was that Steve Jobs went around and said, tell you what, I'll give you a 5-year exclusive if you'll let me design this phone in peace and you won't even see it till it's done. And actually, even so, he was turned down by Verizon and others. Finally, Singular said okay. And I'm going to talk about the effect of the iPhone. Please don't corner me at the party tonight and go, what are you, an Apple fanboy? I'm not. you can see what I said about it. It's a flawed masterpiece. It's got bad things and good things. Let's all acknowledge that right now. But it did change a few things. And the first thing it changed was that all those carriers saw that they sold 10 million of these things in a year and said, oh my gosh, maybe we've been doing it wrong. Maybe we should let phone designers design the phones. And another thing was it let 10 million people for the first time experience being online all the time, not using these $60 a month cellular cards for their laptops. I don't understand why we're not there yet. When I'm an old man, I'm going to tell my grandchildren, when I was your age, if I wanted to check my email, I used to drive around town looking for a coffee shop. I did. You know, we had wireless base stations that could broadcast, yay, 150 feet across, you know. It's absurd. We have power outlets in every room of every building. We have running water. What's the problem? Anyway, but this teaches people what it's like. You have to go to YouTube and type in iPhone Shuffle. This guy did a mock video of one that's 1 inch square, like the real iPod Shuffle. And it's like, it only has one button. Touch it, and it dials a number at random. Who the hell is this? You know. But the other thing it did is it opened up this idea of an app store. These are it downloads right to the phone, and it uses the tilt. You can use the tilt sensor to, like, you steer this car using this game. It uses these programs can use all the components of the iPhone. The touch screen. This is the Etch-a-Sketch program, the theme of EG 2008. You know how you erase it? Of course, you shake it. All right, of course. And we shake it to erase like this. So they have 10,000 of these programs. This is the translator program. They have every language in the world. You type in what you want, and it gives you the translation. They have, this is amazing. This is Midomi. A song's running through your head. You sing it into the thing.
Da, 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 da,
okay,
da, da.
You tap done, and it will find out the song and play it for you. I know, it's insane, right? This is Pandora, free internet radio, not just free internet radio. You type in a band or a song name, it will immediately play you that song or that band, and it has a thumbs up and a thumbs down. You say if you like this song or not. And if you like it, it tries another song on you from a different band with the same instrumentation, vocals, theme, and tempo. And if you like that one or don't like it, you do thumbs up and thumbs down. Over time, it tailors the songs so that it completely stops playing bad songs. It eventually only plays songs you like. This is Urban Spoon. You're in a city. It knows from GPS where you're standing. You want to find a place to eat. You shake it. It proposes a restaurant. It gives you the price and the location and ratings.
I'm not going all the way to Flushing.
So, anyway, just amazing, amazing things. And of course, it's not just about the iPhone. The iPhone broke the dike, the wall, but now it's everybody else. So Google has done their own Android operating system that will soon be on handsets, phones from 34 companies, touch screen, very, very nice. Also with its own app store where you can download programs. And this is amazing. In the wake of all this, Verizon, the most calcified corporate conservative carrier of all, said you can use any phone you want on our network. I love the Wired headline. Pigs fly, hell freezes over, and Verizon opens up its network. No, really. So everything is changing. We've entered a new world of innovation where the cell phone becomes your laptop, customized the way you want it. Every cell phone is unique and software that you can add on. And can I do one more 1-minute song? Thank you. And just to round it up, this is the new Apple Power Music Stand. It's only £3, or 12 if you install Microsoft Office. Sorry, that was mean. This is a song I did for the New York Times website as a music video. Ladies and gentlemen, for 7 blissful hours, it was the #1 video on YouTube. And now, the end is near. I'm sick to death of this old cell phone. Bad sound, the signal's weak, the software stinks, a made-in-hell phone. I've heard there's something new, a million times more rad than my phone. I too will join the cult. I want an iPhone. Concerns, I have a few. It's got some flaws, we may just face it. No keys, no memory card, the battery's sealed, you can't replace it. But God, this thing is sweet, a multi-touch iPod Wi-Fi phone. You had me from hello. I want an iPhone. I want to touch its precious screen. I want to wipe the smudges clean. I want my friends to look and drool. I want to say, look, now I'm cool. I stood in line and I'll get mine. I want an iPhone. For what is a man? What has he got? If not iPhone, then he's got squat. It's all the things a phone should be. Who cares if it's AT&T? I stood, took a stand, paid $500,000, and got an iPhone. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.